For this week's Webdvar, I'd like to share with you an observation upon the occasion of the celebration, the 70th anniversary of the birth of the State of Israel, a miracle of our times, and that which precedes Yom Haatzmaut, which is Yom HaZikaron, the day in which we commemorate Israel's fallen, all of the soldiers who have left us since the birth of the state. And we're also in the midst of the period of Sfira, which traditionally has been a period of mourning, as we commemorate the deaths of the students of Rabbi Akiva, 24,000 in number. And the reason we're told that they died was because they had a hard time applying the teaching of their Rebbe. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, the pasuk tells us, we are to love and respect each other just like we want to be respected and loved. Amar Rabbi Akiva zeh klal gadol b'Torah. Rabbi Akiva says, this is a great klal, this is a great principle in the Torah. And our generation, we're also still lacking when it comes to learning the lesson of the students of Rabbi Akiva. But the number of soldiers who have died since the birth of the state is eerily close to 24,000. They are individuals who were selfless, who had complete ahavas chinam, who loved the Jewish people, loved the land of Israel, and gave their lives and left so many behind. So many hopes and dreams, so many children who grew up without parents, so many parents who experienced the terrible, terrible death of their own children, so many family members, so many spouses who were left alone with their world destroyed. And these people gave up their lives for all of us to be able to get on a plane and fly to Israel and enjoy being in the land of our ancestors. Which brings me to the observation. And that is when I recently flew to Israel, and I'm not a great flyer. I got on the plane and I sat down, strapped in my seatbelt, and waited for everyone else to board and for us to get going. Now for me, the suspense makes things even worse. So I wish I could just be up in the air, and as long as we started flying, I'm okay. The captain comes on the PA system and asks everyone to be seated as fast as possible so that the cabin door can be closed and we can start to go on our way. And yet, we're being delayed because people are arguing. Now this is very political, because it seems that there were certain people who had gone over to others and asked them to switch their seats very kindly because they didn't feel comfortable sitting next to someone of the opposite sex. And so other people started bickering and saying, what chutzpah? And yet other people told them and said, what's it your business? They're asking kindly, maybe they don't mind. What's your problem? And all this bickering is taking place, and I'm getting jittery and uneasy because I just want to go. And yet I stopped and thought to myself, my goodness, we're missing the big picture. If we just pause for a moment and be mindful of the situation, how incredible it is. Here we are, a group of Jewish people who are on a plane going to the land of our ancestors. 75 years ago, how many people couldn't even imagine their children or grandchildren being able to go on a plane and be in Israel in 10 hours, let alone that we would be sitting and bickering over where we're going to sit, and bickering and arguing over how someone's asking, should they be asking. Let's just take it in. We are so fortunate to live in the generation in which we live, and not to have lived in the prior generation. We are so fortunate that our eyes have seen Shivas Tzion, the return to Tzion, the return of millions of Jewish people for the first time in 2,000 years to our homeland. The ability for those who are not living in the land of Israel to contact, to learn Torah from Eretz Yisrael, to go and visit, to move, to serve in the Israeli Defense Forces, and to be part of the dream which is the State of Israel. How fortunate are we? Ashreinu matov chelkeinu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has allowed us to see the beginning, the start of something special, of something we believe will ultimately lead to the day that we have been waiting for, the day that Jews for thousands of years have been waiting for, the day in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu will show his countenance, continue to show his countenance and his mercy upon the Jewish people, and bring an end to our complete galus. And so, as we celebrate the birth of the state of Israel 70 years later, we give thanks to Hashem, who has given us this gift. And we recognize that we need to show love for each other in order to celebrate that which Hashem has given us so kindly. May we take advantage of the extraordinary times that we live in and give praise and thanks to Hashem that He continues to allow Israel and its people to flourish and to allow us to witness such incredible moments in Jewish history. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.